Esta mañana estaba revisando videos de nuevo y sabemos que los chinos están compitiendo fuertemente en el mundo de los autos con carros de altísima calidad. Pues BYD no se está quedando atrás. Ya habíamos visto una camioneta que la habíamos sacado, que parecido al Defender nuevo de Land Rover, con 1100 caballos a las ruedas, es anfibio, gira 360, realmente se las trae. Pues estuve revisando esta mañana una página que sigo muchísimo y se las recomiendo, se llama Car Wow, donde hacen competencias de vehículos principalmente con temas de velocidad. Pues bueno, BYD acaba de sacar un modelo que quiere competir directamente con Tesla en cuanto a aceleración y prestaciones. Vean el siguiente video porque de verdad que está súper interesante. Se están apoderando del mundo automotriz.
Exactly happened. Well, as you can see, it's very close on the line, but the slow motion action replay reveals that it was the BYD that crossed the line first ahead of the Tesla. However, both cars recorded a standing quarter-mile time of 12.6 seconds. So, the BYD is quicker in a drag race than the Tesla, but can the Tesla pull things back when it comes to the interior? The basic dashboard design is similar to the old car, but there's a new LED strip around the base of the windscreen, some added aluminium on the centre console, and new dashboard trims. These changes are good. What's not so good though is the fact that the indicator stalks have been ditched in favour of buttons on the steering wheel, which are awkward to use. And the physical gear selector has gone too. Now you have to swipe a slide. Is Elon. And there's some physical buttons on the centre console. The air vents are pretty normal too, though the curvy dashboard is less so. And generally the materials in the BYD are a match for the Teslas, but there are also sorts of trim on the Speaking of which, there's a decent amount of storage in the sales cabin, but then that's also true with the Tesla. Now, you can't talk about these cars' interiors without mentioning their massive touchscreens. Both measure over 15 inches. Yes, you still get all the same silly sound effects as in the old Model 3, but the screen is brighter and faster now. I guess that means more farts per minute. The rest of the infotainment is basically the same as before, so that means no physical buttons. There are a few shortcut icons for the climate control, which is good, but adjusting other settings is more of a faff, especially when you're driving. In fact, Tesla only seems to care about features you can use when you're parked. You get Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus and Zoom. There are even racing games you can play using the steering wheel as a controller. If you want to look like a kid who's been left on their own in a car. But you can't get Apple CarPlay nor Android Auto. Why not? You can get them in almost every other car these days, even a mid-range Dacia Sandero. Okay, so the Model 3's infotainment system is actually pretty good on the whole. It's definitely easier to use than lots of other touchscreens, and I'm talking about those. This is not a problem with the BYD seal because they have sensibly given their car a digital driver's display. So the speedo's just there. Oh, and you've also got a heads-up display, so you can have the speed there projected on the road in front of you. I don't know why Tesla don't just fit their cars with heads-up displays. Just solve the problem instantly. You know, it's not beyond the wit of them, surely, because with the Cybertruck, they created a vehicle which has body panels so tough that you can do this to them. Here we go. But there is one thing you can do with the BYD's infotainment system you can't do with the Teslas. Portrait mode. In truth, this screen is a bit of a gimmick. This is exactly the kind of thing that will probably stop working when the car gets a bit old. Some features don't even work properly in both orientations right now, like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but at least you do get smartphone mirroring, unlike in the Model 3. So doing simple stuff like changing the cabin temperatures is just more difficult. It's not all bad though. I like the way the sat-nav displays in portrait mode because you can see more of your route ahead. And this brings me on to my next test. I asked both cars to calculate a route from our filming location in Oxfordshire to Aberdeen in Scotland. A nice long journey, the sort that electric car owners probably never do. This means the cars will have to recharge on the way, but will their navigation systems automatically add a charging stop? The BYD system is easy to program and it shows a couple of different route options, but it doesn't automatically add EV chargers along the way. There's a feature that shows you your remaining range as a green outline on the map, but you have to add chargers manually along your route, which is a pain. All this is much easier in the Tesla. You just enter your destination and the car automatically adds charges to your route. Not only that, it will tell you how long to stay charging at each one and how full to take your battery to before moving on to the next one to give you the least amount of charging time possible for you to make it to your chosen destination. That is brilliant. That facility is a massive advantage of the Tesla, as is the fact that you have Tesla's supercharger network. That really does matter when it comes to electric cars.